What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Unqualified Critics, and in this video we're talking about the new Midway Legacy cabinet, or the Mortal Kombat cabinet as I think of it. And well, we now know really the specs on this cabinet. I mean, before we had seen different renders or mock-ups from Arcade1up, even official product listings with frankly different information, right? So we didn't know if there'd be those wings on the side panels extending past the control panel, so there's no room for your hand to spill over the control panel if you got this big old oven mitt hands. It was even unclear what the riser looked like, but folks have been posting pictures of their Legacy Edition Midway cabinet to social media, and I've got some posts here we're going to take a look at. So first off, the box is new. So Arcade1up said back when they did the Supreme Mortal Kombat that they wanted to step their packaging game up, and they did that in a big way for the Supreme cabinet, but that was at a premium price, a Supreme price, you might say. But they said, hey, we want to bring some of that to our other cabinets. And it looks like they've done it. And the box, by the way, looks really cool. But you know what? Not a big deal, right? You're not going to buy this or not buy it because the box looks good. But this is what it looks like, and it does look pretty good. And shout out to Raziel957, user on Reddit, for posting that. Another shot of the other side of the box so you can really finally see what those control panels look like. But take a look at this. It does look like there are little wings here, doesn't it? It looks like the control panel is underneath or under the level set by the top of the side panels. Now, this is where when we looked at photos or renderings of this cabinet, it was kind of all over the place. Some of them showed really high wings. Clearly, these aren't really high, but there are little notches there. It does make me wonder, and let's take a closer look. And this is from user RWTD Burn. So shout out to that person for posting this. But this does show you've got a notch here. And I'm not really sure why they've done that. I don't know why they changed it. I don't know if, maybe they thought this looks better or something like that. But in my opinion, what it's sort of doing is it's limiting, because now your hand, your palm rest area, well, you can't spill over the side. I doubt this would bother me too much, but it just seems kind of curious. And I also wonder if originally these were going to be a lot higher, and that's what that rendering showed, and people kind of freaked out. Hey, why are you doing that? So they just shaved it down a bit. But I just do not get why they would change that. But there is actually another big change. And then we'll get into some of the positive changes, because there's a lot of positive here. This is from user J Crusher on Reddit. Look how vertical that monitor is. Right? It's not quite as vertical as the Buck World next to it. I've got a Buck World. It's completely vertical, which makes sense for the cabinet. As I said, that cabinet just needed to be a little bit taller, but the way that the screen is positioned is perfectly great. Here, though, we're back to that vertical monitor. I mean, this looks to me like a Wave 1 or Wave 2 cabinet. I really like starting with Wave 3, got into the Marvel Superheroes cabinet, and everything that came after it was recessed. The monitor was tilted back a bit into the cab. Here, they've gone the opposite direction. And this is what it looked like in the product photos. I thought maybe it was a mistake, but just, be clear on that. You are going to be getting a mostly vertical screen. Overall, as a package, I think it looks pretty good, but I personally like when the monitor is just tilted back. Now, again, I'm guessing they've done this. I mentioned this before, probably for the same reason they pushed this marquee way back, with that reason being it's easier to see from different angles. So if you're standing really high, you can still see the monitor. But you've got to be pretty tall to have an issue with the other cabinets. And I would just like to see other options, like a riser extension or something versus reorienting the monitor. I'm not a huge fan of that. Overall, the product does look pretty good. And of course, I know some of you have been asking, hey, is this a decal or is it a real coin door? Remember, this is just the decal on these legacy cabinets. The new, more expensive cabinets, they are going to have a molded coin door, but not here on the legacy cabs. And I would like to see them release the molded coin door to put here, just so they match, so you guys can have a uniform arcade, but not a big deal. And I do like that design. You might be thinking, hey, this actually looks flush. Well, if you read this Reddit post, the user says, no, they put spacers underneath the control panel to push the control panel up a little bit. So they've actually elevated the control panel, created a little bit of a gap between that and the J panel, and that makes it flush. But this is not the way it comes. So it's an easy fix. You definitely could do it yourself. But again, you know, why don't we just get it that way from the start? I find that curious. But that's stuff on the design. Let's look at, you know, the cabinet itself. So these videos have been posted all over Reddit and Facebook, and I actually don't know the original source on this video, but you can see when it boots, it goes into a sort of an attract mode, even if you don't select a game, which is really cool. I know at this point, and I know like a lot of you, I have so many Arcade1up cabinets. I turn them all on, but then I got to go pick a game, because if I don't pick a game, it's not going to hit attract mode, which is kind of lame. So I'm glad that they've done this. They've kind of added an automatic attract mode. Bigger deal than that we now have pause, which is great. I mean, whenever I have a pool table in my basement. If I'm playing pool with my girlfriend or a friend or somebody, and we're in the middle of a game, but it's my turn to shoot, you know, it's awesome to hit that pause button. It's something that I've long wanted. My iArcade, for example, has a built-in pause feature, which I like and actually use quite a bit. So this is a nice touch. It's going to take you out of the game, put you on pause, and it's going to show you that probably what this is a screenshot for wherever you are. So it looks good. I like the background graphics. Looks pretty cool. All good there. Nice bit of improvement. And of course, the games list, if I can get to that. I guess it's back here at the beginning of this video. You know, a lot of cool games here. It really is. But a lot of games that need their own control panel. Rampage, you know, with being potentially up to 3 players, needs its own control panel. Defender needs its own control panel. Although because this is Mortal Kombat and you've got those 5 buttons, I'm sure this is so much better than it was on the original cabinet, the Asteroids that came with Defender. A Tapper, certainly Tapper, needs its own cabinet. So, you know, this is why ultimately I didn't buy this cabinet. It's not any specific thing they did wrong in the design, like the way this is shaped or the monitor or whatever. I assume that this all comes together as a nice package. The commentary from owners so far seems to be that it just feels a little better quality. The buttons they specifically called out as being better quality, which is great. The standard Arcade1up buttons historically haven't been that great. So I am glad to see that. But yeah, the quality for me is not really the issue. I don't really have anything against this cabinet. I just, you know, I can't imagine playing Paperboy on this. I can't imagine playing Tapper on this. We need more specialized cabinets. And I get it. I know the rub ultimately is, hey, we got to build a cab that can sell 3,000 units so we can break even. And maybe people won't buy 3,000 units of Tapper. You know, I bet you could sell 3,000 of Tapper, but, you know, I could be wrong. What do I know? Paperboy, I don't know if that's harder or easier to sell. I know it has a lot of fans. I'm not a big fan of Paperboy myself, but that's another game where you want that custom control panel. You want those bike handlebars of a yoke, basically, because that's how we used to play the game, and that's the reason we buy these cabinets. So overall, I'm really glad to see them do these legacy products. I think that this looks like overall a really good package. Again, I don't know why this isn't flush. That seems weird to me. I don't know why this screen is almost completely vertical. So I'd like to get some answers on that. But, you know, I'm interested certainly in the Tempest cab. I'd consider picking that up. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you think. Does this look good to you? Would you rather have this than the original Mortal Kombat? Keep in mind, we're getting stereo sound here, which for a game like Mortal Kombat is pretty cool. And we're getting a lot of additional games. We're getting the faux coin door. Is this for you? Do you think this is a good package for $3.99, or do you think some of these design changes are for the worst? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you made it to the end. Make sure you're subscribed and enable all notifications, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, consider hitting that join button to support the channel, and thanks so much for watching. Dripping light.